In this video, you're going to learn how you can change your engine air filter on a 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500. This truck is equipped with a 5.3 motor, but it's going to be the same across all your LS motors. Change your engine air filter, the first thing you'll want to do is pull this red tab back. You can gently pry it back with a flathead screwdriver. This will allow you to depress the little plastic clip. What I do is I press the connector in further, depress the clip first, then just gently wiggle it out. So what I'm doing here is I'm depressing this little tiny clip, which is moving that black piece which latches onto the mass airflow sensor right here. And if I have the red clip in the way, I won't be able to depress it. But if I pull the red clip back, I can now depress it. Once you've done that, take a flathead screwdriver and remove the hose clamp. Once you removed it, give it a little wiggle and just go ahead and wiggle this guy on off. Then with a pretty meaty sized Phillips head screwdriver, you'll come over to the front and remove a screw right here on the front. So we'll just twist this guy out, pressing down firmly and twisting. If you don't have a Phillips head, you can in fact use a flathead and twist it right on out. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, don't let them fall. You'll want to keep these guys. They are just screws. They'll come out fairly easily. Spin it off with your hands and put it in a safe place so you don't lose it. Then we'll go to the other side. There's one more over here, just on the outside of the coolant tank. So we're just going to go ahead right here and twist it out. Minimal effort required. There's a total of 3 screws. The final one is just on the other side of this connector here. You go ahead, grab it, and start twisting it out. When it gets up towards the top, put your finger there. I know I'm covering the camera, but you don't want to drop these because they are almost impossible to find once you do. Save space. Then you go ahead, grab your little boot, move it out of the way, and you can lift your air filter assembly up and out of the way. How it goes out of the way is with these little tabs which lock into the box. So there's 3 tabs. They lock into this box right here. This is utilized in a K&N air filter, and most of the time you just have to blow these off with compressed air and they're good to go. This one's pretty dirty, and we do not have a K&N oil service kit with this, so we're going to go ahead and service this at our next service date when we come back here to do the brakes. But we'll have another video, or you can look at K&N's website and they'll show you how you service these. We'll just go ahead, blow it off with compressed air. So once it's been blown off with compressed air, you'll go ahead and do your reinstallation, making sure that all the fins are clean, as clean as possible, and you'll just reinsert it right back into its box. Then you'll go ahead, take your filter box here and get it back into the position, trying to make sure that those 3 tabs are lined up in the filter box. Again, those 3 tabs are right here, 1, 2, 3, and they correspond with 1, 2, and 3. So we'll get these guys right back in here. You have to wrestle the intake boot just a little bit and get it back all together. Put your boot back on and take your screws and start screwing them back in. Very carefully, you really don't want to drop these, you will never find them. Ask me how I know. And just snug them down. So I don't put them all the way tight until I get all 3 of them in. That way if I have to wiggle the box around a little bit because it's plastic, and after many heat cycles it can warp a little bit. So it's a good idea to leave them a little bit undone until you get them all the way in. Once you get them all the way in, then you can go ahead for the final install. This back one, I'm just going to go ahead and get it started by hand so it doesn't drop out. And I'll go ahead and snug it down. Now that that's all in, I'll snug it down. Probably a total of 10 foot-pounds of twists here. Not a whole lot. Nice and snug. And same thing here, nice and snug. Then we'll come to our intake boot, give it a wiggle, get it back on there. Flathead screwdriver, snug it down. Nice little snug here. Little tug test, everything's good, everything's nice, tight and sealed. We'll come back with our mass airflow sensor connector. We'll plug it back in until we hear an audible click. And then we'll take this little red tab and push it forward so it doesn't come out.